The Larks just wrapped up a 2-game series with the Fort Collins Foxes, and now they hit the road for a must-win series against the Liberal BJs. Welcome into the pregame show, everybody, from the southwest corner of Kansas. My name is Hank Corsair, and looking back at that last game 2 nights ago between the Larks and the Foxes, the Larks were able to get a close 4-2 win. They scored their first 2 runs in the second inning. Both Tabor Stokes and Trent Baker got on through singles, and then Tanner Norman and Ty Schmeidler followed after them, bringing them both home. But the Foxes didn't go away. They would keep the Larks scoreless for a few innings. They scored in the 6th and also the 8th, which is where they would tie things up. But with 1 runner on, Sean Keenan came up to bat with 2 outs and hit a 2-run home run into right field to give the Larks a 4-2 lead. And then Jackson Ramos came in, got 3 strikeouts, and earned his 4th save of the season. And another notable performance from that game was from the Larks starter, Aiden Robinson. It was his first game, first start, goes for 3 innings, doesn't give up any hits or runs, and records 6 strikeouts. So it was a big win, but now the Larks need to bring their A game for this series against the Liberal BJs. They've only played 1 game since the 2 teams last met. On Saturday, they faced Dodge City, and that was a 13-2 victory for them. It was also their 7th run rule, which gives them also a 3-game win streak going into this series. So it's going to be fun to watch this one. The Larks' magic number is 3. They're ahead of the BJs by 2 in the RMBL standings. But tonight's game is also just a warm-up because it's a non-league game. But both teams will definitely want to win before going into those last 2 games of the series. We will have first pitch for you when when we come back to Brent Gold Field in Liberal, Kansas after this.
So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! Join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Welcome back to Brent Gold Field. The Larks are just a few miles north of the Kansas-Oklahoma border and ready to go for a non-league matchup with the Liberal BJs. Starting on the mound tonight for Liberals, number 28, Preston Roberge, a sophomore from Wichita, Kansas that just played this last season at Iowa Lakes Community College. Makes his 6th appearance and start of the summer. Getting set to face number 3, Rainer Bean. So again, tonight is a non-league matchup. Just like the first matchup between these two teams, it went non-league, followed by 2 games that affected their RMBL record. Batting first for the Larks, stepping up to the plate in the left-handed box is number 3, Rainer Bean. It will be followed by Cooper Holtorf and Hutch Russell to start tonight's game. Roberge delivers the first pitch of the game. Misses down low, and that's ball 1. First pitch is at 7:02 for tonight's game. 88 degrees at first pitch and sunny with 12-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the southeast. Next pitch is on its way. Bean takes a swing at it and misses. It's now 1-1. So Cooper Holtorf is on deck. Hutch Russell is in the hole. Sean Keenan will bat 4th. Tabor Stokes is 5th. Trent Baker will bat 6th. Tanner Norman will bat 7th. Batting 8th in the order is Austin Crawford, and number 9 is Dylan Hazelhorst. Bean fouls that one out of play behind the net. It's now 1-2. Roberge comes in with a .537 ERA, as well as 14 strikeouts. He's only given up earned runs in 3 games. And on the 1-2, he drops that one up high. Evens the count up at 2-2. Tonight for Rainer Bean, he's one of 3 new faces in the lineup tonight, along with Austin Crawford and Dylan Hazelhorst. Here's the pitch. Popped up, going to the left side, and it goes out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Rainer Bean. He has set out for the last 2 games, which are the only ones they set out for the entire season. This is his 23rd game as a batter. He's also had 2 games as a pitcher. And he pops this one up on the left side, once again. Bologna runs after it, and it lands out of play. 2 foul balls now for Rainer Bean after being faced with 2 strikes in the count. Bean has 26 hits this season. Here's the pitch. And that's a foul tip into the glove of Adams, and that's out number 1. With 1 away, the Larks now bring up Cooper Holtorf to bat, the junior out of Oklahoma City, and here is the Liberal defensive alignment. In left field is Josiah Rojas. Next to him in center field is Seth Green, and in right field is number 20, Caden Isola. That'll hit Holtorf on the shoulder, and he goes down to first base on the first pitch that he sees from Preston Roberge. The third batter for the Larks is Hutch Russell. And here is a look at the infield. Liberals catchers, number 38, Cade Adams. At first base, number 44, Noah Giovanelli. Next to him at second is number 2, Drew Gartman. Jet Huffman will play at shortstop, and number 5, William Bologna, is over at third. Russell watches the first pitch go by. Home plate umpire calls it ball 1. Short lead for Holtorf over at first base. Giovanelli's covering the bag. And Russell hits a line drive into right field. This one's going to bounce in front of Isola. Holtorf will stop at second base. He turned and took a look, but got back really quickly to avoid getting tagged out. The Larks put a runner in scoring position with 1 away. And now up to bat is Sean Keenan. Keenan was 2 for 4 in the Larks' last game against Fort Collins. That included the go-ahead 2-run home run in the 8th inning that gave the Larks the win before Jackson Ramos came in and got the save, and Keenan hits a fly ball into right field. Isola calls for it, and he's got the catch on the run. Holtorf tags up, goes to third, and he gets there in plenty of time. There's now 2 away, and that brings up Tabor Stokes to try to get the runner home. Stokes recorded a single in his 4 at-bats against the Foxes in the last game. As a team, the Larks recorded 10 hits and scored 4 runs. Here's the pitch from Roberge. This one gets away from the catcher on the pass ball. Holtorf sprints home, and he slides in safely. The Larks strike first in the first game of the series. Stokes gets ahead with a 1-0 count against Preston Roberge. Half of his appearances were starts, and the other half were as a relief pitcher at Iowa Lakes Community College this season. Delivers high and inside on the 1-0 count for ball 2. Roberge pitched in 11 2/3 innings at Iowa Lakes. Only recorded 6 strikeouts, gave up 20 hits and 21 earned runs. And overall in his career, he pitched in 21 games and made 8 starts. He finds the strike zone there and ties the count up at 2-1. Trent Baker follows after Tabor Stokes. He was 2 for 3 yesterday, or 2 nights ago, excuse me. And it was both Stokes and Baker that got the first 2 runs of that game as well. And now Stokes will fall behind 2-2, fouling that one back into the net. Trent Baker throws that one over to the third base dugout. Stokes is ready for the pitch from Roberge. Takes a deep breath, now delivers. And that one will find the strike zone on the outside part of the plate, and that's out number 3. But the Larks get on the board first. Cooper Holtorf is hit by a pitch, advanced on a single, and he scores on a pass ball. So we'll see what the Larks can do with their pitching. Ty Schmeidler will take them out next, and the score is 1-0. The Larks strike first in the top of the first inning and get going to work now with the pitching, which is led by Ty Schmeiler. This is his fourth start of the season. He will start off by facing number 5, William Bologna, a high school senior from Liberty, Missouri, playing in his 13th game of the season. Adjusts his helmet and takes a deep breath before going into the box. Schmeidler delivers his first pitch. That misses down low, and it's 1-0. Here's the rest of Liberals' order after William Bologna is number 2, Drew Gartman. Number 44, Noah Giovanelli, bats third. Fourth in the order is Cade Adams. Fifth is Caden Isola. Number 23, Josiah Rojas is in the sixth hole. Jet Huffman is seventh. Wyatt Bohannon will be the DH tonight, batting eighth. And number 1, Seth Green, will bat ninth. 1 ball and 1 strike from Schmeidler to the Bradley commit, William Bologna. He goes inside that time and finds the zone, and it's now 1-2. Schmeidler's had 3 relief appearances. This is his 4th start. Here's the 1-2. Just missed on that one, and it ties the count up. He pitched against Liberal on July 6th. That was a game where he got the win, and it was a 5-strikeout performance for the TMP Marion Jr. Here's the 2-2. And that finds the low outside corner, and that's out number 1. Schmeidler did a good job working it around the zone without contact being made by Bologna, and he gets the strikeout. That now brings up number 2, Drew Gartman, the freshman from Arkansas State. He is playing at second base tonight. In the first series against the Larks, he was primarily played over at shortstop, so they move him over 1 spot. He gets ahead with 1 ball in the count against Ty Schmeidler. The Larks' defensive alignment tonight looks like this. Trent Baker's in left field, Sean Keenan is center, and in right field is Cooper Holtorf. There's strike 1 from Schmeidler. Playing catcher tonight is number 29, Dylan Hazelhorst. Tanner Norman is back at first. Hutch Russell moves over to second base. Tabor Stokes is at shortstop. And the third baseman is Austin Crawford. Now here's the 1-1. Curves low in the zone. And that's ball 2. Gartman has a .203 average coming into tonight's game. He hits a fly ball into center field. It's the shallow part of the outfield. Keenan has to run up on it, and he's there in time for out number 2. That'll now bring up number 44, Noah Giovanelli, the first baseman for tonight's game. Giovanelli is a freshman from Sonoma, California. He's gotten a hit in 3 straight games. Watch the first pitch go by, and it's 0-1. He's got also has one of the best on base percentages for the BJs, .519, giving him an OPS above 1. He's now down 0-2. Schmeiler already has 1 strikeout this inning against William Bologna, the leadoff batter. Now he kicks and deals with 2 outs. Tried going to the low inside corner, but that will be the first ball. Schmeiler taking his time. Here's the pitch. This one is hit hard over to Hutch Russell. He fields it, throws it to first, and gets out number 3. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning on the play there by Hutch Russell. It was a tough ball to field, but he tracked it all the way to his glove to end the inning. And now the Larks will go to their 6, 7, 8 batters when we come back, holding on to that 1-0 lead. Welcome back to Liberal, Kansas for the first game of this 3-game series between the Larks and the BJs. The Larks jumped out to a 1-0 lead through the first inning, and now Trent Baker will step up to the plate to lead off the second. The Larks just got the 1 run off of 1 hit in that first inning. The runner that scored was Cooper Holtorf. He was hit by a pitch and brought home on a pass ball. Roberge goes to his full windup. Baker leaves the pitch outside, but it finds the zone, and the inning starts with an 0-1 count. Baker's followed by Tanner Norman and then Austin Crawford, and Dylan Hazelhorst is the 9-hole batter after Crawford. Baker leaves that one upstairs. It's now 1-1. Baker has split time this season as a pitcher, a DH, and also an outfielder. Swings and misses on the third pitch, and he falls behind 1-2. He's had 7 games as a pitcher. This is his 12th as a batter. And he's doing a good job splitting both times. He's got a .342 average coming into tonight's game, which very closely matches his average of his 4-year Larks career. Roberge will step out the mound for a moment. Now he deals the 1-2. And Baker sends this one into right field. Running after it is Isola, and it drops down. Takes 2 bounces, then goes into his glove. And Trent Baker starts the inning with the Larks' second hit of the game. Now up is number 34, Tanner Norman, back at first base tonight.
First baseman, number 34, Tanner.
This starts the bottom third of the Larks order. Austin Crawford is on deck. Dylan Hazelhorst is in the hole. And Norman fouls the first one off. And that's strike one. Norman was 1 for 3 in the last game against the Foxes. Had an RBI single that scored the first of 4 runs in that game. Roberts looks back at first base. The tag is not applied in time. Norman's ready for the pitch from Roberts. And here it comes. That one drops low in the zone. And that's ball 1. Norman has 16 hits in his 20 games up to this point. Also does a good job of showing his plate discipline. He's walked in 13 of his last 15 games. And he hits a line drive right past the second baseman. Gartman couldn't reach it in time. It was flying very slowly through the air. But Tanner Norman has another single. Two runners on with no outs for Austin Crawford to work with now. Roberts still has not given up an earned run yet. The Holtorf run was scored on a pass ball, and that's been his specialty. He's only given up the earned runs in 3 of the 5 games that he's pitched in. He delivers a fastball to Crawford right down the middle to make the count 0-1. Short leads for both Baker and Norman. Here's the pitch. And Crawford hits this one high in the air into that left center gap. Rojas sprints after it, and it drops down. Green's the one that gets to it first. And the third base coach will send Trent Baker home. Sliding into third is Tanner Norman, and the Larks strike again. An RBI double for the CSU Pueblo commit. And the Larks doing a very good job taking control of this game early. They've already scored 1 run this inning. They got 2 runners in scoring position. And now Dylan Hazelhorst is up to bat, completing the first rotation through the Larks order. Roberts' first pitch misses on the outside. 1 ball and no strikes. This battle between pitcher and batter right here is 2 5A alums. Roberts attended Cape and Mount Carmel, and Dylan Hazelhorst attended Hayes High, and he gets this one past the right fielder. Isola ran up trying to make a diving play. They have to go all the way to the outfield. Hazelhorst takes off for third base, and the throw goes in, and he will be held up there. Dylan Hazelhorst clears the bases, gets the triple, and extends the lead to 4-0. And the problem on that last play was Isola ran up on it, tried making a diving play, and the ball went all the way to the wall. And Seth Green actually had to be the one to go get it because Isola was a little slow going back there. First pitch to Rainer Bean goes outside in his second plate appearance. And he fouls off the next pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bean was the first of 2 strikeouts for Preston Roberts in the first inning. A pitcher that has 14 strikeouts in his 5 games. He delivers the 1-1. Bean pops this one up. Huffman points it out for the left fielder Rojas. And he makes the catch. Dylan Hazelhorst will tag up, trying to make the run home. and he is going to be tagged out. It was actually Cade Green that ran home. Dylan Hazelhorst had the 2 RBI triple and then got subbed out. But Liberals able to get a double play to leave no runners on the base path. Next up for the Larks is Cooper Holtorf.
Next up, number 1, right fielder, Cooper Holtorf.
Holtorf playing close to the plate, awaits the pitch. He was hit on his very first pitch from Roberge. And on this one, it's high and outside, but it's called strike 1. Russell will bat next. Sean Keenan is in the hole, and this is a line drive right over Huffman's head. And Holtorf keeps the inning alive. After the double play, he gets the single. It's the 5th hit of this inning for the Larks. Now up is number 15, Hutch Russell. He had the first hit of the game, made it all the way to second base, but was left there after a sacrifice fly and a strikeout to end the first inning. Russell fouls off the first pitch, and another count begins 0-1. With his single already, Russell has gotten a hit in 3 straight games. He's actually gotten a hit in all but one of the games that he's appeared in for the Larks, which included a 6-game hit streak to start the season. Count is 1-1. Holtorf is taking a lead with Giovanelli covering. Here comes the pitch, and it's high and outside. 2-1 is the count to the sophomore out of Midwest City, Oklahoma. Russell's the 7th batter that Preston Roberge is facing in this inning. Here's the pitch, and this one's sent high in the air into left field. Rojas sprints back for it. He gets under it close to the warning track and makes the catch going back the other way a short distance. A big inning there for the Larks. They score 3 runs off of 5 hits, and only 1 runner is left stranded, and their lead is 4-0. We'll be back in a moment for the bottom half of the second inning as Liberal tries to fight back. Welcome back to Brent Goldfield in Liberal, Kansas, as we get set for the bottom half of the second inning. In the spring, this is the home of the Seward County Saints, but in the summertime, this is the home of the Liberal BJs. They're trying to fight back down 4-0. The Larks went through 7 batters in the top half of this inning, and they scored 3 of them off of 5 hits. Schmeiler's first pitch to the 4-hole batter, Cade Adams, misses on the outside, 4-1. Adams will be followed by number 20, Caden Isola, and number 23, Josiah Rojas. 2 of the outfielders for the BJs tonight. Now the count moves to 2-0. This is Adams' 19th game with Liberal, and now he hits a ground ball over to Hutch Russell. He fields it on the run and gives a short, soft toss over to Tanner Norman for the first out. The Larks ended the first inning on a 4-3 play, and they start the second inning with another one. Now out to bat is number 20, Caden Isola, the right fielder. He is a sophomore from Sacramento City College, originally from Bend, Oregon. And he's coming off of a big performance in the last game for the BJs against Dodge City. They won that one on Saturday night 13-2, which was their 7th run rule win of the season. First pitch to him is a ball. Isola had 5 RBIs in that game. And up until that point in his previous 11 games, he only had 8. It's another 2-0 count for Ty Schmeiler against the BJs. He was able to go 3 up, 3 down against them in the first inning, including 1 strikeout. And now this one's popped up on the infield. Hutch Russell's yelling out for it, and he makes the catch in the grass for out number 2. That's back-to-back 2-0 counts where a batter gets out for Liberal. Now they go to their 6-hole batter, Josiah Rojas.
Number 23, left fielder, Josiah Rojas.
He's listed on the roster as a left-handed pitcher, but is playing in left field tonight, and he sends that one foul in a line drive. Rojas is committed to play at Cisco College next season. Swinging and missing, he's now down 0-2. And Liberal's not his first team this summer. When back in, I believe, late May, maybe early June, he played for the Oklahoma MVP before making the move here to Southwest Kansas. He's down with 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Schmeiler. That one takes a bounce in the opposite batter's box for ball 1. We'll see where Dylan Hazelhorst puts his glove. He wants it low and inside, and this one is going to hit Rojas on the back of the leg. They'll give him a second to walk that off as he heads over to first base. And he's limping a little bit as he crosses the bag. So they're going to call time to give him a second. Looked like it hit him right on the back near the calf area. It's one of those places where you don't want to get hit. He's talking to his first base coach, going back to the bag. And now Liberal's third base coach is going to come over as well. I believe the third base coach is their head coach, Caden Trinkle. Johnny Bailey's is at first base. His first base coach still talking to him. Trinkle goes back to his spot over at third. They will not need a courtesy runner, so Josiah Rojas is the runner over at first base with 2 outs. The count was 1-2 when he got hit. Coming up to the plate now for Liberals, number 3, Jet Huffman, a freshman from Turpin, Oklahoma that played his freshman season right here on this field for Seward County. First pitch is up high. Starts the count off 1-0. Liberal has a few Seward County players on their team, including their ace pitcher, Jay Brooks Kappelman, who is also a Liberal native. High and inside, it's now 2-0 for Schmeidler against Huffman. And yeah, it's those two. And for Hayes, they have three Hayes natives of their own. That includes Ty Schmeidler, who is going into his senior year of high school and on the mound. You got Carson Lyles, who is committed to Barton Community College. He just finished his senior season at TMP. And then Dylan Hazelhorse, who goes to Fort Hayes and is a Hayes High alum that graduated in 2024. Swing and a miss, drops the count now to 2-2 for Jet Huffman. He is the shortstop for tonight's game. He had a couple appearances in the first series against the Larks as a courtesy runner. Schmeidler looks at first base. Now he kicks and deals. And this one's grounded over to Hutch Russell. And he will focus on the runner at first, and that ends the inning. Hutch Russell is responsible for all 3 outs in that inning. A 4-3 play, a pop-up for the second out, and then another 4-3 play to get out number 3. The Larks still lead this one 4-0 as we go to the top of the third inning in the first of this 3-game series, which is also a non-league contest.
Hey, Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! Join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
The Larks had the middle part of their order up for the top of the third inning, still facing the starter Preston Roberge. It is number 7 Sean Keenan leading the inning off. First pitch to him is called strike 1. Keenan watches another one go by. That will even the count up with 1 ball and 1 strike. Roberge has only recorded 2 strikeouts so far, has given up 6 hits against the Larks. And 3 of the runs that he has given up are earned. Now Keenan gets a hard hit ball right past Gartman on the outside part, and Sean Keenan has his first hit of the game. Now at the bat is Tabor Stokes. It was Stokes and Keenan were the only 2 batters that didn't appear in the second inning.
Shortstop, number 6, Tabor Stokes, batting next.
And now all but 2 of the Larks batters have recorded a hit tonight. And it's only the top of the third inning. It's Rainer Bean and Tabor Stokes is batting now. He pops this one up. Giovanelli points it out for Gartman. And Gartman makes the catch. After that fly out, the Larks go up to Trent Baker, who is the leadoff batter in that last inning. He had a single on a 1-2 count and was one of the 3 runs that scored. He was brought home on a Austin Crawford RBI double. The other 2 runs were scored on a 2 RBI triple from Dylan Hazelhorst, who is the 9-hole batter tonight. Throw back to first base, not in time. Sean Keenan will be safe. Next pitch is a swing and a miss. Roberge went to his slider that time to get Baker swinging. 0-1 is the count. And now this one gets away from the catcher, and Keenan can just jog over to second base. That one was a little bit wide, so it'll be listed as a wild pitch. That makes the count 1-1 for Trent Baker. Keenan takes a lead over at second base, and Baker hits this one over to the shortstop. That's Huffman, who throws it over to first. Giovanelli extends his arm straight up into the air to get out number 2. This would be big for Liberal if they can get this third out right here. Larks scored 1 run in the first and then 3 in the second.
Batting in seventh position, number 34, first baseman, Tanner Norman.
The next batter is number 34, Tanner Norman. He had a single on a 1-1 count in the previous inning. His first pitch from Roberge is fouled back into the net. No ball and 1 strike to the first baseman from Murray State Community College. Norman is also one of 8 Oklahoma natives on the Larks roster. Today's game is just a few miles north of the Kansas-Oklahoma border. One ball and 1 strike is the count, with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Here's the pitch. That one misses outside, and it's all tied up now to Norman. Liberal does have a couple of pitchers warming up in their left field bullpen. And if my memory is correct, this is the third ball field that the Larks are playing on this summer where the bullpen is out in the field, meaning that there's no fence surrounding it. That goes along with Fort Collins and Dodge City. Norman holds his bat in the air for the pitch, and this one's a fly ball into left field. Rojas has to run up on it, and it's going to drop down. Keenan gets sent home and slides in safely, and the Larks have another run. 5-0 is the score as Tanner Norman gets his 13th RBI of the season. So the Larks extend the inning, bringing up Austin Crawford. He brought home the first run of the game, and he has Tanner Norman over at first base. That was a very close play with Sean Keenan, but he was able to beat the throw. First pitch to Crawford on his second at-bat is called strike 1. Tonight the Larks have Nate Guffey over at first base, and this one was a surprise to me. The third base coach tonight for the Larks is Andy Luton, one of the assistants from last season. He made the trip down to Liberal for just this series because neither Ben Tinius or Brady Kreitzer were able to make the trip down. Crawford now deals with an 0-2 count. Roberge looking for his third strikeout. He got the previous 2 in the first inning. Here comes the 0-2 from Roberge. That one misses up high. It's now 1-2. Short lead at first for Tanner Norman. Has only gotten 4 steals this season. So far tonight, the Larks have not had to be aggressive on the base path. They've advanced their runners through 1 pass ball and 1 wild pitch. They went 1 for 2 on steals in the second game against Fort Collins. Now here's the 2-2, and it's a swing and a miss that ends the inning. The Larks add 1 more run. Sean Keenan gets a leadoff single and is brought home from Tanner Norman's RBI single to make the score 5-0 going into the bottom of the third. Ty Schmeidler returns to the mound for the bottom of the third inning. He's faced 7 batters so far, so now he faces 8-9-1 for Liberal in this inning. It's Wyatt Bohannon, the DH for tonight, that leads things off, sends the first ball out of play. No balls and 1 strike to the DH out of Kent State to Scarwas. Next pitch from Schmeidler goes outside, and it's now 1-1. Bohannon played in 35 games in his freshman season this year, finished with a .242 average. Next pitch goes inside. A little bit too low, so now it's 2-1. Hazelhorse puts his glove low, and the pitch misses up high. It's now 3-1 to Bohannon. Whenever I look at rosters, I usually try to find out how many players from the Division I level teams had. And I thought Wyatt Bohannon was one as well. He walks over to first base off of the 3-1 count. But the team that he plays for, Kent State Tuscarawas, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, is an NAIA team that is an extension campus of Kent State who plays in the MAC. He walks on his first at-bat, and now it brings up number 1, Seth Green, a freshman out of Weatherford College. Schmeidler goes to his fastball, a little bit up high. 1-0 is the count. Green's played in the most games for Liberal this season with 24 of the 27 counting tonight. Swing and a miss makes the count 1-1. Green's average is .395. He has a team high 30 hits. And comes to Liberal after redshirting with Weatherford in 2026. Now the curveball misses on the inside part of the plate. The count is tied up at 2-1. The Larks are not warming anybody up yet in the bullpen. We'll see how long Schmeidler goes, because in non-league games, that's where teams usually want to warm pitchers up, as well as some of the other players. I mean, in the league games, that's where you do whatever it takes to win, especially in this series. If the Larks win both games, they are the RMBL champions. On the 2-2, Norman fields it, gets the lead runner out, and Seth Green is safe at first on the fielder's choice play. Liberal now goes back to the top of their order with number 5, William Bologna. So entering this series, the Larks' magic number in the RMBL race is 3, meaning if they win just one of the 2 RMBL games in this series against the BJs, they win at least a share of the RMBL title, and then they would have to win one of their 2 games in league play against the Boulder Collegians. That series will be from July 17th to 19th, and then the Larks will finish the regular season on July 20th with a non-league game against Dodge City. Schmeidler deals the ball to number 5, William Bologna, a recent graduate of Liberty North High School in Missouri. Here's the next pitch. Grounded over to Hutch Russell, a chance for a double play. He gives it to Tabor Stokes in time for out number 1, and the throw to second is in time as well. The Larks turn the double play and go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 3rd. And they keep the 0 on the scoreboard. It's 5-0. Dylan Hazelhorse will lead things off when we come back to Brent Gold Field. Liberal makes their first pitching change of the night going into the top of the 4th inning. Replacing Preston Roberge after 3 innings is number 13, Anthony Edwards. He pitched in 2/3 innings in the last game against the Larks on July 8th. He recorded 2 strikeouts, but they pulled him out after he walked 2 batters, which would eventually load the bases up. His first batter that he's facing is number 29, Dylan Hazelhorst. The count begins 1-0. Hazelhorst had a big hit in his previous at-bat, a triple that rolled all the way to the right field wall. 2 runs were scored off of it, and now it's 1-1. Looking at Anthony Edwards, he's a sophomore from Brookhaven, Dallas. Made 8 appearances with 1 start this season. Now works ahead 1-2 against Hazelhorst. Catcher Adams centers his glove. Here's the pitch. And that one misses up high and outside. And it's now 2-2. Hazelhorst is back at catcher tonight. From here on out for the foreseeable future, time is only going to be split between him and Bran Wilson. On the 2-2, that one misses on the outside part of the plate for a full count. The reason for that is that with the MLB draft being yesterday, Dylan LaRue became an undrafted free agent and was picked up by an independent league team. So he did not make the trip down to Liberal. And on the strikeout, that's out number 1 there to Dylan Hazelhorst. So we wish Dylan LaRue the best of luck. That's a huge opportunity for him. The team that he is playing for is the Lake County Dockhounds, which is in the same league as the Kansas City Monarchs. Now to bat is Rainer Beanie. It's a line drive on the first pitch, and this one rolls all the way to the warning track. He makes his way to second base. His helmet flies off, and he stops and gets a double. Big hit there by Rainer Bean. He's now the 8th Lark batter to have at least one hit. And now Cooper Holtorf is up to bat. He had his first hit in the second inning. Was hit by a pitch in the first inning, scored the first run of the game, and then was held up at first in the second. Now there's going to be a meeting between Cade Adams and Anthony Edwards. Preston Roberts, the starter, gave up 8 hits and 5 runs in his first 3 innings. Now Edwards takes over the reins on the mound. He's pitched in 9 games for Liberal, 17 strikeouts for him. His ERA is 5.94. He looks back at second base. And now here's the pitch to Holtorf. That finds the strike zone, and it's 0-1. Hutch Russell is on deck. Sean Keenan is in the hole for the Larks. Edwards takes a second look back. Here's the 0-1. And that one misses on the outside part of the plate. It's now 1-1 to the right fielder. The Liberal BJs are the second team that Anthony Edwards has pitched for. Last summer, after his freshman year at Brookhaven, Dallas, he played for the North Texas Renegades. Now he deals the 1-1 to Holtorf, and that one misses outside, and it ties the count up. Holtorf only had 1 pitch when he was hit, and his single was on an 0-1 count. Now the count is 2-1. Edwards kicks and deals, and Holtorf sends this one over the first base dugout where the Larks are sitting. And it's now 2-2 with 1 away. Holtorf has already extended his hit and run streak to 5 games with his single and run tonight. If he can score Rainer Bean, it would be his 18th RBI of the summer. Here's the 2-2. That one misses on the outside part of the plate. Cade Adams tried to frame it, but that'll be the second full count of the inning. The first one was the full count strikeout against Dylan Hazelhorst for out number 1. Here's the payoff pitch from Edwards, and that finds the outside part of the plate for out number 2. Anthony Edwards doing a good job of finding that outside part of the zone. He's gotten both Holtorf and Hazelhorst with that pitch. And now the Larks look for a 2-out rally from number 15, Hutch Russell, to bring the runner from second home. Russell already has a single tonight. Here's the pitch. That one drops into the low part of the zone, and it's 0-1. That single in the first inning was Russell's it was his 14th hit of the season. So Russell's had half of his hits be singles, the other half are extra base hits. He now works to a 1-1 count against Edwards. There's a big gap between the shortstop and the second baseman. Right side of the infield for Liberal is playing closer to the grass. Here's the pitch from Edwards, and Russell fouls this one off. Number 19 for Liberal goes in to retrieve the foul ball. That's Cal Anthony, one of their top batters who's setting out tonight. So now Hutch Russell will have to fight back. There's 2 outs. And if Anthony Edwards can get the out, this will be the first inning where the Larks don't score any runs. The catcher has to come out of his stance for that one. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Edwards came into this game with 17 strikeouts in his first 9 games. Looking for 3 in this inning. Here comes the 2-2. And that's ball 3. Russell's been walked 9 times in this young season for him. If he gets on, Sean Keenan will be up to bat next. Rainer Bean is the runner at second. Here's the payoff pitch. And this one is sent right over to the second baseman. And it is caught very close to the ground, but the field umpire will say Drew Gartman got it. And that ends the top of the 4th inning. Larks are still ahead 5-0, adding another hit from Rainer Bean in the top of the 4th. We are through an hour of tonight's game, going into the bottom of the 4th inning as Ty Schmeidler is back to the mound to face number 2, Drew Gartman. It's a pretty good showing tonight from the Liberal fans in the first of this 3-game series. Liberal needs to win the 2 games after tonight to have a chance at getting the league title. They win both those games, they tie it up. If they win one, they just have to pray that the Larks lose one of their two RMBL games against Boulder, and they have to win their remaining RMBL games as well. On a 1-1 count, this one's fielded by Austin Crawford, and the throw to first is over the head of Tanner Norman. And the error gets Drew Gartman on first base. Now he moves over to second. That will be listed as an E5 and brings up Noah Giovanelli.
Noah Giovanelli.
Cade Adams will be on deck. Caden Isola is in the hole. Now Giovanelli makes his second plate appearance of the game. He grounded out into a 4-3 play to end the bottom of the first inning. Foul tip makes the count 0-1, going into the glove of Hazelhorse. Giovanelli is a freshman from Point Loma Nazarene. Liberals got a few players from Point Loma Nazarene, a team that plays at the Division II level and won the Pac West Championship this season. Now the count moves to 1-1. Gartman has a lead at second base. And this one's grounded over to Austin Crawford. He was unable to get a hold of it at first, but the throw to first is in time. It was a hard hit ball there by Giovanelli. Crawford's able to recollect it and get it to Tanner Norman in time. That was a very close play, and Gartman stays put at second base. Now Liberal goes to their 4-hole batter, number 38, Cade Adams, the freshman out of Pearland, Texas, and redshirt from Southern Miss.
Catcher Cade Adams.
Adams also grounded into a 4-3 play in his first appearance, just like Giovanelli. Schmeidler taking his time, deciding what pitch he wants to throw. Now Hazelhorse will call time, and those two will have a meeting. The Larks have still not warmed up anybody yet tonight. Schmeidler's doing a good job so far, though. 1 strikeout, no hits, no runs. The only batters to get on they got on through either a walk, a hit by a pitch, a fielder's choice, or Drew Gartman, who reached on the air to start this inning, who's at second base. Schmeidler takes a look back. Now he deals the pitch to Adams. That one curves, but is a little bit too low and outside for ball 1. Adams has gotten at least 1 hit in 11 of his last 14 games. Now he gets ahead 2-0. And he faced a 2-0 count in the second inning when he had the ground out. Larks fielding has done a very good job so far. Now here's a 2-0 from Schmeidler, and that's a swing and a miss in the high part of the zone. It ties things up. Adams is also trying to score that runner at second base. He has 18 RBIs in his 18 games. He grounds this one over to Hutch Russell, and he gives it over to Tanner Norman. The runner advances to third, but there's now 2 away. So Drew Gartman is 90 feet away from home plate, but with 2 away, the next batter up is number 20, Caden Isola. He popped out to Hutch Russell in the second inning. And in that second inning, Hutch Russell was responsible for getting all 3 outs. He had 2 ground outs plus that pop out. One ball and no strikes to Isola. And also Russell has made a play on the ball and at least one time in each inning so far. Now that pitch was ball 2 to Isola. He had a 4-3 play in the first inning, got all 3 outs in the second. Was part of a 4-6-3 double play that ended the third, and he just had another 4-3 play a moment ago. Here's the 2-0 from Schmeidler, and this one's going to bounce away from Hazelhorst, and that's going to score the first run of the game for Liberal. Pass ball makes the score 5-1. 3-0 is the count to Isola with the bases empty. Schmeidler goes to his full windup. Finds the zone on that pitch for the first strike. Hazelhorse puts his glove low, and this one rolls foul over to the Larks dugout. And Schmeidler able to get back up to a full count against the sophomore from Sacramento City College. Schmeidler shakes his head no, then nods, deals the payoff pitch, and that'll be popped up. Tanner Norman started to go after it, but it goes out of play, landing near the concession stand. So Isola trying to win the battle. Here's the pitch. And that gets into the high inside corner, and Ty Schmeidler has his second backwards K of the game and ends the bottom of the fourth. Liberal scores a run after Drew Gartman reached on an error, making it all the way to second base. He is brought home on a pass ball to get Liberal on the scoreboard. But now it's time for the top of the fifth inning. Sean Keenan, Tabor Stokes, and Trent Baker are up to bat next for the Larks. Starting the top of the fifth inning for the Larks is number 7, Sean Keenan, followed by Tabor Stokes and Trent Baker. Anthony Edwards is on the mound. He delivers a ball to start the inning. Edwards came in after 3 innings of work from the starter Preston Roberge. Had 3 strikeouts, but gives up 8 hits and 5 runs, which is how the Larks were able to jump out to this early lead. Here's the 1-0, and Keenan hits this one into center field, and Green is not going to get there in time. It takes one bounce and goes into his glove, and Keenan has his second base hit of the game. The Larks have at least 1 hit in every inning. 1 in the first, 5 in the second, 2 in the third, and a double in the fourth.
Number 6, shortstop, Tabor Stokes.
Now Tabor Stokes is up to bat, trying to get his first hit. He's the only Lark that hasn't recorded a hit yet. Edwards comes set, deals the pitch, and finds the strike zone to make the count 0-1. Stokes went 1 for 4 in his last game against Fort Collins. Scored 1 of the 4 runs and had 1 of the 10 hits. Now throw goes back to first base, and Keenan slides back in time. Tonight for Tabor, Stokes is also his 90th game as a Lark. This is his 3rd year with the team. Now here's the 0-1. That one misses in the low part of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Edwards has only given up 14 hits up until this game. Now Stokes fouls this one back into the net for strike 2. And Edwards has also given up 19 runs, but only 13 of those have been earned. And that's something that Liberal has struggled with this season. They've given up 169 runs before tonight. 41 of those were unearned. Edwards kicks and deals. Stokes fouls another one back. Stays alive with 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trent Baker will follow, and then Tanner Norman and Austin Crawford. Dylan Hazelhorst will bat after that, and that one gets on the inside part of the plate. Stokes in disagreement with the home plate umpire. He strikes out for out number 1.
Left fielder number 2, Trent.
That now brings up Trent Baker.
Coming to the plate.
This stretch of 4 batters for the Larks were all responsible for scoring runs in the 2nd inning. Baker, Norman, and Crawford scored, and then Dylan Hazelhorst had the 2 RBI triple that cleared the bases. Baker's 1 for 2 tonight. He had 2 singles in the last game. Here's the pitch. The runner takes off for second base. And the catch is not made by the shortstop, or the second baseman, excuse me, Drew Gartman. Sean Keenan gets a successful steal as the ball rolls into the outfield, but he'll stay put there. One ball and no strikes in the count to Trent Baker. Edwards comes set, takes a look back. And that one misses upstairs for ball 2. We'll see if Keenan decides to steal again. He's got another big lead. Drew Gartman's the closest one to the bag. Now here's the pitch. And Baker hits a line drive down the left field line. Rojas runs up on it, and the throw went to home plate, but Keenan stops at third, and the Larks have runners at the corners. Trent Baker gets back-to-back multi-hit games now. Moves Sean Keenan over to third, and that brings up Tanner Norman. He has 2 base hits of his own already, along with an RBI and a run.
First baseman number 34, Tanner Norman.
Edwards looks over at first base. Here's his first pitch to Norman. Targets the high outside corner and misses. It's 1-0. The Larks do now have somebody warming up in their bullpen. I would expect them to keep Schmeidler in the game. He has not given up a hit yet. And now Norman hits a ground ball right past the first baseman. A lot of power off the bat there. Keenan scores. Trent Baker makes his way to third. The runners stay at the corners, and another run scores. 2 RBIs on the night for Tanner Norman, getting the Larks back up to a 5-run lead. Now up is the 8-hole batter, Austin Crawford.
Number 8, third baseman, Austin Crawford.
This is Crawford's 20th game with the Larks tonight. 1 for 2 with an RBI double. And the first pitch from Edwards goes outside, and it starts to count 1-0. Crawford played at Hutchinson Community College this season. The same conference, or plays in the same conference as Seward County, who plays here at Brent Gold Field in the spring. And I'm currently checking to see if any games were played here between the Blue Dragons and the Saints. Crawford was part of a team for the Blue Dragons that went 46-15 this year. They had a home game in the Plains District tournament against Seward County and Wichita. That's the only one I've found so far. They won that one 18-10. Crawford now deals with a 2-1 count. So that game against the Saints was in May. I'll continue to look and see if there's any other games. But for now, here's the 2-1. Crawford sends this one over to the second baseman, and it is caught by Gartman and given over to first base for out number 2, but Trent Baker scores from third, and Tanner Norman advances to second. Now up is the 9-hole batter, Dylan Hazelhorst.
Catcher, Dylan Hazelhorst.
He had that 2 RBI triple in the second inning. Edwards waits to get his pitch from Adams. He looks back at second base again. Now here's the pitch. That takes a bounce. Adams is able to cover it, and it's 1-0. This is the 3rd time through the Larks order. Rainer Bean is up next, followed by Cooper Holtorf and Hutch Russell. That one almost hit Hazelhorst. Edwards went to his fastball that time on the inside part of the plate. It's now 2-0. Hazelhorst looking for another big hit as he awaits the pitch. And now he's ahead 3-0. Hazelhorst only has 2 games this season where he's recorded an RBI, not counting tonight. And he has 9 on the season. He had 4 in the second game of the season against Colorado. And then he had 5 12 days later down in Newton. 3-0 is the count. And that finds the zone. There is strike 1 from the sophomore out of Dallas, Anthony Edwards. Edwards takes another look at Norman. He goes low and outside. Hazelhorst takes a swing and fouls it back into the net. And for the second time tonight, Hazelhorst will battle against a full count against Anthony Edwards. Hazelhorst was the first batter that Edwards faced as the leadoff batter at the top of the 4th inning. Hazelhorst struck out looking on a full count. Now here's another payoff pitch. That one misses down low, and Hazelhorst heads over to first base. And Cade Green gets his batting helmet on. He will take over the duties over at first base, and a meeting is going to take place for the BJs. They have 1 pitcher warming up right now. over in left field. That looks like number 18, which is the right-handed arm of Sean Size. That's another pitcher that appeared in the last game of the previous series between Hayes and Liberal. So now the Larks are back to the top of their order with 2 runners on and 2 outs. It is number 3, Rainer Bean. He had his first hit in his last appearance, but he was left stranded at second base off of a double with 2 outs following after that. Here comes the pitch, and it's left outside. 1-0 is the count to Bean. Bean is back in the lineup tonight after missing the last 2 games, which were both against Fort Collins. Those were the only 2 games this season where he did not appear. And on the 1-0, he leaves that one as well for ball 2. The Larks have had 3 hits this inning. That is the second most in any inning. They scored 5 hits. They had 5 hits and scored 3 runs in the top of the second. And Bean rips this one deep into right field. A solo goes back to the wall, and it bounces off. Bean going for his second double of the game. He gets there in plenty of time. And Andy Luton will send Cade Green home. It's a 2 RBI double for Rainer Bean to extend the lead to 9-1. The Larks could not ask for a better start tonight. The pitching is doing good. The batting is doing good. They have an 8-run lead on Liberal's home field. And now Cooper Holtorf is the 8th batter to appear at the plate this inning. This one is sent high in the air into center field. Green is tracking it down, waiting for it to come down, and he gets out number 3. The Larks score 4 runs in the top of the 5th inning. They extend their lead to 9-1, and now the pitching goes back to work for the bottom of the 5th. We'll be back to Brent Goldfield in just a moment here on the Larks Network. The Larks add 4 more hits and 4 more runs in the top half of the 5th inning. They lead by 8, and Ty Schmeidler is back once again. He starts the inning by facing Josiah Rojas, and he deals a ball. Normally you don't see starting pitchers go for this long in non-league games, but Schmeidler's done a great job so far. Finds the strike zone there to make the count 1-1. And the Larks really this entire season have been successful in non-league games. They have not lost one. This is their 7th of the season. We'll look back at some of the other ones here in just a second. Count is now tied 2-1. Their first non-league game wasn't until June 14th because of the cancellation of the series between the Larks and the Topeka Capitals. And they won that first game in style. This is sent back up the middle, and that's Liberal's first hit of the game. It comes from Josiah Rojas, who occupies first base, and it brings up Jet Huffman. So the Larks won that game against Newton 14-1. Another big win they had was against Newton again, 12-4 on June 19th. They defeated Dodge City 12-7 on June 21st. And then their most recent win in non-league play was against Liberal at Larks Park on July 6th. The final score of that one was 3-2. Schmeiler looks at first base. Now turns his attention to Huffman, who swings and misses. That's strike one. Huffman is a freshman from Turpin, Oklahoma. Played in 54 games this season here at Seward County Community College. Now here's the 0-1. Schmeiler puts this one in front of home plate. It rolls away from the catcher, Hazelhorst. And the pass ball will advance Rojas into scoring position. Huffman will be followed by Wyatt Bohannon and Seth Green. And another one is sent back up the middle into center field. This one takes a bounce and goes into Keenan's glove. And the runner will be held at third. Back-to-back singles for Liberal. And now it brings up Wyatt Bohannon, the DH from Alvarado, Texas. And Keith Harper's going to make his way out for a meeting. Two pitchers are warming up for the Larks. We'll try to get a look at who those are. They are all the way out to the outfield wall, which in right field sets at 320 feet. In Liberal's bullpen, that's around 340 feet. And here at Brent Gold Field, center field is 400. The Larks are currently warming up both Carson Lyles, and that looks like Cade Green is also warming up as well. Green's made one appearance on the mound for just one inning. So it wouldn't be the first time that we see him. And Lyles is primarily a pitcher for the Larks, so it'll be interesting to see who they go with. But now Wyatt Bohannon is up to bat. He walked on a 3-1 count in the third inning.
Number 33, the designated hitter, Wyatt Bohannon.
Schmeiler's first pitch to Bohannon. Misses on the strike zone, high and outside. 1-0 is the count. Bohannon has 3 hits in just 8 games. He pops this one up into center field. It is Sean Keenan that's going to track it down. Has to go back the other way. And he will just throw it into Tabor Stokes. That'll score the second run of the game for Liberal off of the sacrifice fly. Now they go to their 9-hole batter, Seth Green. Wearing number 1, he reached on a fielder's choice in the third inning. That was what Wyatt Bohannon got out on. Swinging and missing at the first pitch. That'll be the first strike. Green has played in more games than any Liberal players. This is his 24th of the season tonight. Now here's the 0-1 from Schmeiler. That one misses on the inside part of the plate. And it's 1-1. Short lead over at first for Jet Huffman. Here's the pitch. And the slider misses on the outside for ball 2. Liberal has scored 1 run in back-to-back innings. And both runs have came from their leadoff batters in each of those innings. Drew Gartman scored in the last inning on an E5 play. Larks have a chance for a double play here. And the throw to first is not going to be in time. The lead runner, Jet Huffman, is out. And Seth Green is safe on a fielder's choice for the second time tonight. The BJs now go back to the top of their order with number 5, William Bologna, up. He is 0 for 2 so far. Got caught looking to start the game and then grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the third. Schmeiler looks at first base, now delivers. And the pitch to Bologna goes high and outside. Bologna is a recent graduate of Liberty North High School in Missouri. He's committed to play for the Bradley Braves next season. His next pitch is sent into left field. Baker goes on a long run to go get it, and he's got the catch. There's out number 3, and it retires the side with one runner stranded, but Liberal adds one more run. Josiah Rojas got on through a single, and a Wyatt Bohannon sacrifice fly brings him home. We'll be back in a moment for the top of the 6th inning. Hutch Russell will lead things off when we come back. Another change is made on the mound going into the top of the 6th inning for Liberal. Replacing Anthony Edwards is number 18, Sean Size, to face Hutch Russell. This is not Size's first time facing off against the Larks. He pitched in 1 1/3 innings on July 8th, which was the third and final game of that first series at Larks Park. The first pitch to Russell drops low on the plate, and it's ball 1. Russell's 1 for 3 so far. A single and 2 flyouts for him. Size gets set. Now here's the 1-0. He goes to his fastball. 4th strike 1. Size is a freshman right-hander from El Paso, Texas. Also attends El Paso Community College. This is his 7th game of the summer. Now here's his next pitch. He goes outside for ball 2. So he has seen the Larks before. He pitched 1 1/3 innings on July 8th, and he only faced 4 batters in that game. Now he kicks and deals, and Russell fouls that one out of play. That's strike 2. Coach Russell can send this one back up the middle. He has a very big gap that he can hit it in. Size goes high and outside. Works to a full count against Russell. Size has struck out 11 batters, walked 6, and the payoff pitch drops into that low corner, and he gets out number 1. With the 1 away, it brings up Sean Keenan, one of 3 Larks that has scored 2 runs tonight. That includes Trent Baker and Tanner Norman. Both times that Keenan has gotten on the base path, he's had base hits. He also had a sacrifice fly in the first inning that scored Cooper Holtorf.
Number 7, center fielder, Seth Keenan.
Now Keenan awaits the first pitch from Size. Thought about going around, but that was a little too low. It's ball 1. I think the announcer here at Brent Goldfield just announced him as Seth Keenan. But it's 1-0 to Sean Keenan. The catcher centers his glove for Size. And Keenan sends this one deep into center field. Green sprints back for it. Still trying to track it down, and he's not going to be able to get there. It goes all the way to the 400 wall, bouncing right in front of it. And Keenan has his 3rd hit of the night, taking over second base. That one hung up in the air for a very long time, and Green had to go on a long run to go get it. It landed right at the base of the wall, kind of near where it starts to rise up diagonally at those 400 numbers. Now Tabor Stokes will make his 4th at bat right here with the runner at second base. The Larks are 1 run away from getting 10 runs for the 14th time this season. If they do that, that means that they achieve that milestone more times than they don't. Because this is their 27th game, and this would be the 14th time that they've done it. They just need 1 more run. Stokes hits this one high in the air, and it goes back deep to left field. Rojas still trying to track it down, and it is out of here. Tabor Stokes with a 2-run home run on his first hit of the game, and the Larks extend their lead to 11-2. That ball had a lot of power and a lot of height, and Tabor Stokes gets his 2nd home run of the season, which is also the 8th of his Larks career. Holtorf is holding the cowboy hat, and Cade Green is holding the stick pony. After that home run, Trent Baker will step up to bat. 2 for 3 with 2 runs on the night for him. First pitch goes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. And with that home run, the Larks, they surpassed the 10-run mark, but they also have a chance to get a run rule victory if they can hold Liberal in these next couple innings. Next pitch drops on home plate, and it's 2-0. And that would be an insane bounce back for the Larks. They lost the first series against Liberal 1-2, and both of those losses were league games. Tonight's game is non-league as well, but that's still a big statement win. Because when Liberal won those 2 games, that was the first time in 4 years that the Larks lost back-to-back games. 3-0 to Baker with 1 out. Size delivers the pitch. And he's able to find the strike zone with his fastball again. The count moves to 3-1. The glove gets centered from the catcher, and Now it's a full count to Baker. He fouls that one back into the net right next to the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch misses on the inside. Baker had to duck out of the way a little bit, and he will walk. There's another pitcher warming up right now for the BJs. Size only has one out, and now the meeting will take place. In his first game against the Larks, he pitched for 1 1/3 innings and only faced 4 batters, getting them all out. Now after facing 4 batters and giving up the 2-run home run, he might get subbed out here in a second. A pitcher is making his way out to the mound for Liberal. Wearing number 29, that is Trenton Uyeda. Not listed on the roster as a pitcher. He primarily plays the middle part of the infield, but it looks like he's just making his way out, or making his way back to the dugout. Because right now there's really nobody warming up. The 2 guys that are holding baseballs are wearing their jersey and black shorts. And now I think the change is going to be made. Sean Size is heading to the dugout. So we'll step away for just a moment, and we'll be back in just a moment to Liberal, Kansas. So Liberal makes another pitching change after just a third of an inning from Sean Size. He gives up the 2-run home run and only gets 1 strikeout. The Larks lead by 9 with Trent Baker over at first base. Tanner Norman is the first batter the new pitcher is facing. That is number 3, Jet Huffman, moving from shortstop to the mound. This is his 3rd game as a pitcher, along with June 16th when Liberal took on Boulder and July 5th when they took on Dodge City. First pitch is a ball to Tanner Norman. He is 3 for 3 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Next pitch misses low and inside, and it's now 2-0. Huffman doesn't go to a full windup on his pitches. He kind of throws it he throws it right away. He comes set. And now that time it's popped out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike to the Western Kentucky commit, Tanner Norman. With the runs that he has scored tonight, this is the 8th multi-run game of the season for Tanner Norman. watch the next one go by for ball 3. The catcher centers his glove. And Norman hits this one deep into center field. Green sprinting back for it. And that's another home run for the Larks. This time it comes from Tanner Norman, and it extends the lead to 13-2. Who needs the home run derby tonight when you got Larks baseball? That's the second home run of the game. Tanner Norman, that's his third of the season. And that's back-to-back 2-run home runs in the same inning as well. Now it brings up Austin Crawford to bat against the new pitcher, Jet Huffman. This one's skied up into the air. It's the new shortstop, Uyeda, who tracked it down at first, but the left fielder, Rojas, tracks it down. That is out number 2. So now the Larks go to their 9-hole batter, Dylan Hazelhorst. And that was the change that Liberal made in between innings, or in between pitching changes, rather. Jet Huffman was playing shortstop. He moves to the pitcher's mound, and the new shortstop is number 29, Trenton Uyeda, who also should replace Huffman in the batting order. First pitch to Hazelhorst was a strike, and Huffman finds the strike zone again. It's now 0-2. Doesn't look like Huffman played any games as a pitcher this season at Seward County. So this experience that he's getting with Liberal is his first of any collegiate pitching. And the count is now 1-2 to Hazelhorst. He's got a run and 2 RBIs of his own. On the 1-2, he'll leave that inside. And the count is evened up. And that will hit Hazelhorst on the elbow on the 2-2 count. The Larks will return to the top of their order. It is number 3, Rainer Bean, coming up to bat now. That's the second time that the Lark has been hit tonight. Dylan Hazelhorst joins the club now with Cooper Holtorf. First pitch to Rainer Bean. A fastball missing on the low part of the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Another lead at first base. The changeup gets into the zone, and it's 1-1. Green is over at first base as the courtesy runner for Dylan Hazelhorst. He was playing a little bit closer to the bag. It's now 1-2 to Bean. Bean has had back-to-back doubles, got out in his first 2 appearances. And now he hits a ground ball. Green able to duck out of the way, and the slide is unsuccessful by Drew Gartman. He was in the outfield grass, but Isola's going to be the one that picks it up and throws it back in. That advances both runners to their next stations and brings up Cooper Holtorf. The Larks go through their entire order in the 6th inning. Hutch Russell is on deck. He led things off. Holtorf hits a line drive into foul territory and over the right field foul wall.
Right fielder number 1, Cooper Holtorf at the plate.
0-1 is the count to the junior out of Oklahoma City. Holtorf got on in his first 2 appearances. That included the hit by pitch that we mentioned just a moment ago. Now he hits a deep drive into left field, and there is no doubt about it. That's the 3rd home run of the game for the Larks. They extend their lead to 16-2. My goodness, what a game. 7 runs in this inning alone. Cooper Holtorf adds another home run to his season totals. And Hutch Russell will be up to bat for the 2nd time this inning.
Second baseman, number 15, Hutch Russell.
Russell watches the first pitch go by. It finds the low corner of the strike zone. And Russell hits a fly ball into left field. Rojas running after it. Stays in fair territory, and he makes the catch. And that ends the inning. But some damage was done. 3 home runs from the Larks. 7 runs in the top of the 6th. And the score is 16-2. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th when we come back here on the Larks Network. Seven runs off of 5 hits is what the Larks get in the top of the 6th inning to bring their lead up to 16-2. And Carson Lyles, the high school teammate of Ty Schmeiler, will replace him on the mound for the bottom half of the 6th inning. I feel like I said it best. Why watch the home run derby tonight when you can watch the Larks with their 3 home runs in that inning alone? First batter is Drew Gartman for the BJs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is All-Star Weekend in the MLB. That one gets fouled into the dugout, and it's 1-1. A lot of festivities going on. You got the home run derby tonight, All-Star game tomorrow, and the MLB draft was also held in Philadelphia as well. And for the Larks and the BJs, they both had one former player get selected. For the Larks, it was with the 272nd pick, former outfielder and now former Arkansas Razorback Damian Ruiz was taken by the Reds. And then fast forward to the 19th round for the BJs, one of their former players was selected. That was Tice Armstrong, a first baseman from Baylor, picked up by the Yankees. And I actually got the chance to talk to the BJ's play-by-play broadcaster, Brock Kappelman. He told me that Armstrong, that him and his wife hosted him a few summers ago. So it's pretty interesting to see those kids make the jump to the major leagues. Now back to our action. It's a 3-2 count for the new pitcher Carson Lyles against Drew Gartman. This is Lyles' 8th appearance as a relief pitcher. And that one's fouled off. The line drive just went behind the left field foul line. Gartman looking for his first hit and second time on the base path. He had a hit in the 4th inning where he reached on an error. Lyles will walk him on a full count here to start the 6th inning. That'll now bring up number 44, Noah Giovanelli. He's had 2 groundouts tonight, 1 to Crawford, 1 to Russell. Lyles' first pitch to Hazelhorst on this at-bat is fouled out of play by Noah Giovanelli. No balls and 1 strike in the count.
Now batting number 44, first baseman Noah Giovanelli.
Giovanelli's trying to extend his 3-game hit streak. Throw goes back to first base, not in time. He's gotten a hit in all but 3 of the games that he's appeared in. And now he works up to a 1-1 count on the next pitch. Lyles gives a nod. Here's the pitch. And the curveball finds the zone. It's now 1-2. Lyles comes in with 14 strikeouts in his 8 games. Looks back at first base. Now he delivers the 1-2 to Giovanelli, and it misses upstairs for ball 2. Tanner Norman is covering first. Gartman has a short lead. Lyles kicks and deals. That one drops low, and it's back-to-back full counts. Payoff pitch is fouled out of play by Giovanelli. Both of the first 2 at-bats that Carson Lyles is facing. Full count followed by a foul ball. Now he's looking for the out. Here's the pitch. And that misses upstairs for ball 4. Drew Gartman now stands over at second base. And Keith Harper is going to come out to talk things over with Carson Lyles before he faces the 4-hole batter, Cade Adams. Looking at Ty Schmeiler for tonight, he pitched the first 5 innings. 2 hits and 2 runs and 2 strikeouts for him as well. He did a good job working around the zone and also getting help from his fielders. And only 1 of those 2 runs were earned. The first one was in the 4th inning from the BJs. It was Drew Gartman that scored on the E5. Now Harper is making the walk back to the first base dugout. Now at the bat is number 38, Cade Adams. Adams has had 2 groundouts tonight. Entered this game on a .274 batting average. Look back to second base. Now here's the pitch from Lyles. And the foul tip goes into Hazelhorst's glove, and it's 0-1. Caden Isola is on deck. Josiah Rojas is in the hole. Now here's the pitch from Lyles. The curveball is fouled off for strike 2. Lyles going in search of his 15th strikeout. He looks back at second base. Now delivers to the plate, and that fastball misses outside, making the count 1-2. We'll see where Hazelhorse puts his glove. He wants the pitch right down the middle. And that one just missed on the outside. It's now 2-2. We'll say the strike zone's been kind of unpredictable tonight, but I think the home plate umpire prefers for the ball to be a little bit more inside. Lyles looking at second base. He delivers a swing and a miss, and with the runner at first base, that is just going to be a strikeout against Cade Adams. It now brings up number 20, Caden Isola for the BJs. He is the right fielder tonight, a sophomore from Bend, Oregon. 0 for 2 on the night, and his first pitch from Lyles misses for ball 1. Isola had a big performance 2 nights ago for the BJs against Dodge City, 5 RBIs in that one. Previously, he had 8 in the 11 games before that. And he hits this one right past the third baseman, and that's going to score a run for Liberal. The third base coach will send Drew Gartman home, and they are back on the board for a 3rd inning in a row. Runners will still be at first and second base. And Josiah Rojas is up to bat. First pitch just misses the zone, and it's 1-0. Noah Giovanelli is at second base. Caden Isola is the new runner at first. Lyles goes to his fastball. He gets in the zone that time. It's 1-1. Rojas has yet to get out tonight. He's been hit by a pitch, and he had a single as well as a run in the 5th. Lyles delivers the 1-1, and this one's a fly ball into left field. A long run from Baker, and he catches it on the run for out number 2. Baker's hat flew off as he was running after the ball, so a good job there to track it down, and it brings up Trenton Uyeda, the pinch hitter who is replacing Huffman because he is now the pitcher for the BJs. And the curveball drops on the outside part of the plate there for Lyles. It's 0-1. Or correction, it's Jet Huffman batting. It's not Trenton Uyeda like it was originally announced. He pops up on the 0-1 for strike 2. I'm a little bit surprised that Liberal is not making the change. They brought Uyeda into the game as the new shortstop because Huffman's now the pitcher. I'd even wonder if they might make another change, but it would be the 4th time they would have to go to the bullpen tonight. Lyles delivers the first ball there to Huffman. Still behind with 2 strikes. Lyles is going for his 2nd strikeout of the inning. He struck out Cade Adams on a 2-2 count. Now here's the 1-2, and it drops into the inside corner for the 3rd out of the inning. For the 3rd inning in a row, Liberal scores their leadoff batter, and they're down by 13 going into the top of the 7th inning. The Larks are trying to get another run rule this season. We'll see if they can do that in the 7th inning when we come back. Jet Huffman is back on the mound for the top of the 7th inning. And Sean Keenan's the leadoff batter. He hits this one right back up the middle, past 2 fielders for the BJs. And for the 4th time tonight, he has another hit, and he's going to try to make it a double. He slides in safely. 2 singles and 2 doubles for the center fielder. Taking advantage of the slow rolling ball. He is already in scoring position to start the top of the 7th. And Tabor Stokes is up to bat. And the last time that Sean Keenan had a double and then Tabor Stokes was up to bat, Stokes had a 2-run home run. We'll see what he does this time. All 3 of the Larks home runs tonight came in the 6th inning. They were from Cooper Holtorf, Tabor Stokes, and Tanner Norman. Curveball makes the count 0-1 there to Stokes. Huffman gives a nod, now takes another look back at second. Here's the pitch. Stokes takes a big swing and misses, and it's 0-2. Gardman's playing closest to second base. Keenan has 1 steal tonight. And there's ball 1 now to Stokes. Both of the remaining games of this series will be at 7 p.m. They both affect league records. Stokes a slow ground ball as he throws his bat all the way to the dugout. And the throw from the shortstop, Uyeda, is over to first in time for out number 1. With a 1 away, Trent Baker will step up to the plate now.
Left fielder, number 2, Trent Baker.
He is one of 3 Larks players tonight that has scored 3 runs. Sean Keenan, who has a chance to make it 4 with a good hit here from Baker. And along with Baker, Tanner Norman, who's in the on-deck circle, has 3 runs as well. The count is now 0-1. And looking ahead at these last 2 games of this series, the Larks just need to win 1, and they will get at least a share of the RMBL title. And Baker hits a high fly ball here into left field. Is that another home run? Yes, it is. That's number 4, this time coming from Trent Baker, and the Larks lead is 18-3. What a game tonight from the Larks. Baker gets his home run. Tabor Stokes has 1 as well. Cooper Holtorf. And now Tanner Norman, who also has 1, is up to bat again.
First baseman, number 34, Tanner Norman.
The catcher's glove is centered, and the pitch is fouled out of play. Goes directly over to some fans who are sitting in a grass area along the left field foul line. And some kids are fighting over the ball. Here's the 0-1, and that misses outside. 1-1 is the count to Tanner Norman. Catcher centers his glove again, and the fastball gets into the zone there from Huffman. 1-2 with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. And this is a wild pitch from Jet Huffman. It evens things up with 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tanner Norman. He has gotten a hit in all of his appearances so far, 4 for 4, 3 singles, and a 2-run home run for him. The pitch is left upstairs, and it gives Tanner Norman a full count. Huffman is ready for the payoff pitch. It goes to the plate. And it gets fouled into the backstop. And Norman will now await pitch number 7. Another Liberal player goes out there to retrieve the foul ball. And Norman hits a line drive right into the glove of the second baseman, Drew Gartman. That's out number 2. Liberal just needs one more out to end the inning. I'm sure the Larks would definitely want to get out of this inning as quickly as possible because they can get a run rule with 3 outs to follow after this. And Crawford hits a fly ball deep into center field. Green trying to track it down. He is at the wall, and he stops right in front of it, making the catch. That retires the side. But the Larks add 2 more runs. Sean Keenan hits a double. Trent Baker brings them home with a 2-run home run. And the score is 18-3 going into the bottom of the 7th inning. We will be back in just a moment here on the Larks Network. Back here at Brent Gold Field for the bottom of the 7th inning. The Larks lead by 15 runs, so as long as they don't give up 6, they will have another run rule victory. And a new pitcher checks into the game to face the Liberal batters. The first batter they're facing is Wyatt Bohannon. It is number 12, Cade Green. He was serving as the courtesy runner tonight for Dylan Hazelhorse, but he now takes the mound to get the last 2 outs. His first pitching appearance was against Liberal 6 days ago. He only threw 8 pitches in a 3-up, 3-down inning against the BJs. And this is a big hit from Bohannon. And this one's going to take a bounce off the warning track. Baker's the one that throws it back in. And Bohannon has his 4th hit of the season. That's actually Trenton Uyeda that checked into the game there. It's a little bit confusing there. Jet Huffman batted as the last batter in the 6th inning. He just pitched for Liberal, and you would think that he would get subbed out, but Trenton Uyeda his defensive replacement is batting in the DH spot now. He gets a leadoff hit here in the 7th inning. Now up to bat is Seth Green. Right back up the middle. He's got a base hit of his own. They're going to send the runner home, and he's going to score in plenty of time. It's an RBI single from Seth Green, and it goes back. It takes Liberal back to the top of their order. It is number 5, William Bologna, up to bat.
William Bologna.
Green's first pitch to Bologna. Misses on the high outside corner, and it's 1-0. Hazelhorse wants the ball low and outside. This one is going to be chopped foul, and it's strike 1. Cade Green is primarily an infielder for the Larks, and that's all he played this season at Colorado Mesa. So this pitching spot is new to him. He delivers a ball on a 1-1 count there to Bologna. I'd have to assume Green got some pitching experience in high school. He attended Choctaw High School in Oklahoma. Now the count moves to 3-1. The pass ball puts Seth Green over at second base. And it definitely wouldn't surprise me at all if Green had that pitching experience in high school, because he was able to get a Division II offer, one of the top Division II teams in the country, and he had a class, and he was part of a graduating class for Choctaw baseball that had multiple Division I signings. He works to a full count with no outs and a runner at second base. Here's the pitch from Green, and it's a swing and a miss. He gets the strikeout. It's his second of the season, this time coming against William Bologna.
Second baseman, number 2, Drew Gartman.
Drew Gartman now at the bat. He has 2 of Liberal's 4 runs, with a walk and a play where he reached on an error in the 4th inning. First pitch from Green is a ground ball right between Crawford and Stokes. Baker runs up on it, throws it in, keeps the runner at third off of the single. Now Noah Giovanelli will bat for the BJs.
First baseman, number 44, Noah Giovanelli.
Giovanelli's 0 for 2 with both of those plays being groundouts. He walked and made it to second base in the 6th inning. He falls behind 0-1 here against Green. Green takes a look back at first base where Gartman is standing. And this one's sent into the shallow part of the outfield. And this one's going to drop down in the gap and score another run. Liberal makes the score 18-5 off of another RBI single. Drew Gartman makes his way all the way to third. Now Cade Adams up to bat.
Catcher, number 38, Cade Adams.
Half-hearted swing there. Contact was made from Adams, and it's 0-1. Liberal has scored in each of the last 4 innings. They didn't record a hit until the 5th inning, because that fourth inning run was unearned. 1 ball and 1 strike in the count. Green's next pitch goes inside, and it's fouled off. One of the Larks players in the dugout goes out there to retrieve it. Now Adams is down to his last strike. Here's the pitch. That drops onto the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes in the count. Green goes inside once again, and he'll have his second full count of the inning. His first full count was a swinging strikeout against the one-hole batter, William Bologna. And this is a ground ball over to Hutch Russell, slides, retrieves it, throws it to Tanner Norman, and there's out number 2, and another run for the BJs. Giovanelli is now the lone runner on. Liberal has scored 3 runs in this inning alone. They need 3 runs to keep the game alive. Isola falls behind with a strike on the first pitch. Hazelhorse puts his glove low. This one takes a bounce, rolls away, but the runner will stay put at second base. Again, that's Noah Giovanelli. It's an even 1-1 count. Next pitch finds the low part of the zone. And Liberals down to their last strike here from Caden Isola. He's been struck out once. He's had 1 ball go in play that wasn't out, and he had an RBI single in the 6th inning. Here comes the 1-2. And this one's a ground ball into left field. It rolls to Trent Baker, and runners are at the corners once again. Josiah Rojas is now up to bat. He's the 8th batter to come up to the plate in this inning alone. The pitcher, Jet Huffman, will be up next. He's the only batter that hasn't been at the plate this inning. And Keith Harper's going to have a quick meeting with Cade Green. They're going to keep him in to save arms. And also because no one's even warming up in right field. Looking at Rojas's previous appearances, he flew out to left field in the 6th inning, scored off of a single in the 5th inning, and then was hit by a pitch and held up at first base in the 2nd inning. Liberal needs to get him home to keep the game alive. They trailed 18-3 at the start of this inning. But so far they have scored a total of 3 runs off of 5 hits. Green's first pitch, hard ground ball, and it rolls into the outfield. Right in between Tabor Stokes and Hutch Russell. Runners are at first and second base. And Liberal goes through their entire batting order in the 7th inning.
Number 3, Jet Huffman.
Green is ready to deal his first pitch to Huffman. He goes to the plate. That is low and outside for ball 1. The only 2 batters to get out for the BJs in this inning are William Bologna and Cade Adams. And they're going to say that that one hit Huffman, so the bases will be loaded. Now Trenton Uyeda makes his second appearance of the game and inning. He's the pinch hitter for Wyatt Bohannon. If the runner from second scores, we play another inning. First pitch is up high. 1-0 is the count. Hazelhorse puts his glove low, and that's fouled out of play. It's now 1-1. Uyeda comes into this game with a .352 average, 25 hits. Trying to add some RBIs. He currently has 16 for the BJs this summer. Here's the 1-1. This is popped up. Tanner Norman's trying to track it down near the dugout, and it lands on the roof of the dugout. And the count is 1-2. One more out ends the game. Green is ready, so is Uyeda. Here's the pitch. Another one sent out of play. This will be pitch number 5 to Uyeda. It goes to the plate. And that misses on the outside. Larks coaches not happy with the call there. It now moves to 2-2. Green just needs one more strike, and he gets it. He catches Uyeda looking, and the Larks win it 18-7. They score in all innings but the fourth, put together 20 hits in the game, and they use a 7-run sixth inning to get another run rule victory. They had 4 home runs altogether, and they get a big win with a lot of notable performances. Sean Keenan with 4 runs. Cooper Holtorf had a 3-run home run in the 6th inning. Tabor Stokes had one of his own. His was 2 runs. Trent Baker also contributes for 4 runs as well, with a 2-run home run to go along with that. And Tanner Norman hits a 2-run home run along with his 3 runs and his 4 hits. It was an incredible performance for the Larks in a non-league matchup. They improved to 23-4 and dropped Liberal to 17-9-1. But the job is not done yet. This was just the start of a 3-game series. The next 2 games are in league play. The Larks need 1 win to get a share of the league title, 2 wins to get the title outright. We will have those last 2 games here on the Larks Network for the remainder of this series. Both games will start at 7 p.m. We will be back here at Brent Gold Field tomorrow night, and we thank you all for tuning in to tonight's game. I'm Hank Corsair saying good night from Liberal, Kansas.